Hello, my name is Jorge Medina, and this is my response to The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. Angie Thomas is an author and former teen rapper who was born and raised in Jackson, Mississippi in 1988. Her greatest accomplishment as a teen rapper was an article about her in Ride On magazine. She holds a BFA in creative writing from Heaven University, an unofficial degree in hip hop. She is an inaugural winner of the Walter Dean Myers Grant of 2015, awarded by We Need Diverse Books. Her award-winning debut novel, The Hate You Give, is a #1 New York Times bestseller. Star is the main character and narrator of the story. The Star is a 16-year-old black high school student who spends her life divided between the poor, primarily black neighborhood of Garden Heights and Williamson Prep, a wealthy, primarily white school. According to NGO and Gesture as Transduction of Characterization, the character living in both worlds changes her characterization. Star is analytical and sharp as well as description of her, but because she narrates events as she experiences them, her emotions are immediate and unfiltered throughout the story. She is a very smart girl and mature as well. After the shooting of Khalil, she grows to be brave and courageous, as well as more outspoken, as at the end of the story, she ends up standing up for herself. Khalil is Star's childhood best friend, who was shot by police. We know from the book that as a child, Khalil was sweet and caring. He is protective of his family, so he grows to still be caring, but becomes a drug dealer and gang member to provide for his family. Not a very smart teen, as he joined a gang and started selling drugs, and he is also kind of arrogant, as we can see during the traffic stop with the police officer. He is arrogant to others, including authoritative figures, as we said, such as the police officer. He was also very arrogant with his stepdad and Star's father, who tried to help him on multiple occasions. Star's father, Big Mav, or Maverick Big Mav, he was a great influence on her throughout the entire story. Big Mac is an outspoken ex-gang member who was able to get out of the game after serving time in place of the gang's leader. He is a philosophical man and very secretive. He is a devoted family man who helps in his neighborhood. He is also a strong believer of the Black Power philosophy. The Hate You Give is set in the fictitious urban neighborhood of Garden Heights, as well as in the wealthier suburbs surrounding the city. The time period is not exact, as the book was published in 2017, and we have estimated that the time period is around 2012 and 2015, as it speaks about events that were booming around that time. The book major themes are identity, the stereotypes of weaponizing black people, and racialized poverty. Identity, as Star was always conflicted with both sides of her worlds, and she couldn't fully identify as one or the other. Another major theme is the stereotype that weaponizes black people. These referring to the stereotypes that all black people are armed, or the constant fear that law enforcement has with people of color, which drives them to kill them or kill unarmed black men behind the excuse of fearing for their life. The last major theme is racialized poverty. In the book, it is mentioned multiple times the bad conditions that occur in the neighborhood, which are so bad that are compared with a war zone. It is also mentioned that most of the people that live where the conflicts happen did not have the economic place or economic growth to be able to move somewhere else. It is a important subject that is spoken in the book, and racialized poverty, where a lot of times people of color don't have the same opportunities as white people, and because of this they have to stay in the same war zones or difficult areas where they live in their neighborhoods. The overall response to this book, The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas, it talks about the conflicts of Star dealing with witnessing the killing of her childhood friend at the hands of police. The book was written with the purpose of being narrated by the main character. Along with this, Many moods and tones can be contrasted throughout the book by the narrator. Also, the author includes slang throughout the book to identify with the readers. This mentioned by Author Hinton. The author portrays an indirect characterization of Star by giving her a nearly dual personality. Lastly, the major theme was gradually developed throughout the book by mentioning the main topic in the entirety of the book and never dropping the subject. Also, the book speaks many truths that the author Angie Thomas was able to portray and develop in her book as a fiction novel, and thoroughly developed the theme, while using different literary tools and using a reality setting, using a voice and tone adequate for the topic, and with the characterization of characters that allows for certain readers to perceive the pain of the characters, especially those that identify with such qualities or experiences. Said pain that even made it to the book, as the author admitted in an interview that as the deaths of unarmed black people continue to make headlines, my emotions definitely affected my writing. This in an interview to Books Magazine. These are the works cited that we used during this presentation and this research. This is all. Again, my name is Jorge Medina. Thank you so much.